Hi boys and girls, this is Miss Christie. Tonight's homework, Homelink 5-10, rotations. So this is just practicing our rotations that we did today in class, making half turns, quarter turns, full turns, clockwise,
bus 5, please, bus 5.
And counterclockwise. So clockwise is the way that a clock moves. You might even want to label your circle like a clock: 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, to remind you of which way is clockwise and which way is counterclockwise. So make the turns described below. Show which way you face after each turn by drawing a dot on the circle, labeling the dot with a letter.
Bus 5. All students riding bus 5. Your bus is here.
So example, face north, do a half turn counterclockwise. So facing north, doing a half turn counterclockwise, so that's this way. This way is counterclockwise. And then mark the direction you're facing with the letter A. So there's letter A. So number 1, face north. And you really need to read these directions carefully. You might want to stop the video now and do it on your own and then see how you do and then turn it back on. Face north. So this is you facing north. Do a 1/4 turn clockwise. So clockwise is this way. 1/4 is 1/4, making that 90-degree angle. Mark the direction you are facing with the letter B. Number 2, face north. Do a 3/4 turn clockwise. Mark the direction you are facing with the letter C. So turn clockwise. So face north, turn clockwise this way. 3/4 of a turn. So there's 1/4, 2/4, or a half. 3/4. So mark that as C. Okay. Face east. So now we're facing east. Do a 1/4 turn counterclockwise. Mark the direction you're facing with the letter D. So facing east, do a 1/4 turn counterclockwise. So counterclockwise is the opposite of the clock. 1/4 turn is going to put you facing north. And then mark that with a D. Number 4, face west. Okay, so now we're facing west. Make less than 1/4 turn clockwise. Mark the direction you are facing with the letter E. Okay, so it says go less than 1/4 of a turn. It doesn't say how much less. So I'm just going to choose to do 1/8 of a turn. And so facing west, make less than a 1/4 turn clockwise. I'm going to put that right here, because this would be 1/4 of a turn would be facing north. But I'm going to doing less than that, so I'm going to be here and call that E. This is a little bit confusing, so hopefully you understand what I'm saying. It's just all about reading the directions. Face north. Okay, here's north. Make a clockwise turn, clockwise. That is more than a half turn. More than a half turn, but less than a 3/4 turn. Okay, so a half turn would put me at A. A 3/4 turn would put me at C. So I'm going to go halfway between that, and I'm going to call that F. Okay. Number 6, face north. Okay, facing north. Make a counterclockwise. Okay, counterclockwise is backwards. Counterclockwise turn that is less than a half turn, but more than a 1/4 turn. Okay, so facing north, make a counterclockwise turn going this way, less than a half. So half would be A, so it's less than a half, but more than a quarter. Okay, so it's right next to F. I'm going to put it right here. You could put it there. It's not really specific. So, and call that G. Okay, and that's that part. Okay, so now we've got some multiplication practice here. So I'm going to use a couple of different strategies with the multiplication. So 85 times 50, I'm going to use partial products for that one. So I'll make my rectangle. And I'm going to call that 85 times 50. So 50 times 5, well 5 times 5 is 25, and then put the 0. 50 times 80, well 5 times 8 is 40, and I have 2 more zeros. And I add those together, 4,000 plus 250, 4,000 plus 250 is 4,250. 4,250. Okay, 597 times 4. So I'm going to use, why don't we use lattice? We'll use lattice to do that one. And you don't have to use the same strategy I'm using. You can use whatever strategy you want to multiply. I'm just trying to use different ones to show you different ones. So 4 times 7 is 28. 4 times 9 is 36. 4 times 5 is 20. And then we add on our diagonals. 8, 6 plus 2 is 8. 3 and 2. So 2,388. 2,388. Okay. Now over here, I'm going to use the U.S. traditional method for these two multiplication problems, partially because I'm running out of space, but also too because we haven't had a whole bunch of practice with that. So I'm going to do the 416 times 6 over here. So 6 times 6 is 36. Put down the 6, carry the 3. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 3 is 9. 6 times 4 is 24. So 2,496. Okay, and then 1,373 times 7. 7 times 3 is 21. 7 times 7 is 49, plus 2 is 51. 7 times 3 is 21, plus 5 is 26. 7 times 1 is 7, plus 2 is 9. So 9,611. And that's it. So hopefully that wasn't too confusing, and I hope that this helped you. And I hope you have a great night, and I will see you tomorrow.